Is there any possibility, in your opinion, that the protest is happening by the people themselves, not by foreign invasion?สวัสดีครับเทือนทอล์กเวอร์ชันพิเศษในวันนี้นะครับเรามาอยู่กันที่สถานทูตอิหร่านที่กรุงเทพนี่นะครับผมซึ่งอิหร่านแน่นอนเป็นประเทศที่ในช่วงหลายเดือนที่ผ่านมาเนี่ยโดนพูดถึงในหน้าสื่อระดับนานาชาติเป็นอย่างมากเนื่องจากการประท้วงขนาดใหญ่นะครับที่กำลังเกิดขึ้นในประเทศอิหร่านจนถึงปัจจุบันนี้ก็เกิน100 วันแล้วนะครับมีทั้งเรื่องของการปราบปรามอย่างหนักและก็รุนแรงของเจ้าหน้าที่มีทั้งเรื่องของสิทธิสตรีในประเทศอิหร่านมีทั้งเรื่องของการประท้วงในช่วงบอลโลกนะครับมีหลายแง่หลายมุมมากมายซึ่งสิ่งเหล่านี้เนี่ยเรามักจะได้ยินจากสื่อตะวันตกนะครับแล้ววันนี้ก็เกิดสถานการณ์พิเศษขึ้นเพราะว่าทางสถานทูตอิหร่านเองเรียกร้องให้ทางทีมงานของเรามาสัมภาษณ์ท่านทูตของอิหร่านประจำประเทศไทยเพื่อที่จะได้นำเสนอมุมมองของทางรัฐบาลอิหร่านผ่านทางสื่อด้วยโดยคำถามทั้งหมดเนี่ยเราเป็นผู้กำหนดเองนะครับทางเถื่อนชาแนลเป็นผู้กำหนดเองแล้ววันนี้เรามาดูกันว่ามุมมองของรัฐบาลอิหร่านเป็นอย่างไรบ้างแต่ว่าอย่างไรก็ตามแต่ใครที่ต้องการเข้าใจสถานการณ์นี้อย่างรอบด้านนะครับผมแนะนำเป็นอย่างมากว่าอย่าดูคลิปนี้คลิปเดียวนะครับผมให้ไปดูคลิปหลายๆด้านนะครับหาข้อมูลจากทุกด้านมาประสานรวมกันเพื่อการเข้าใจเป็นไปอย่างรอบด้านที่สุดเพราะสถานการณ์ครั้งนี้ซับซ้อนมากๆนะครับมีหลายปัจจัยที่เกี่ยวข้องนะครับนี่เป็นมุมมองของรัฐบาลอิหร่านซึ่งเราก็จะทำหน้าที่ที่ดีที่สุดในการสัมภาษณ์และนำมุมมองของท่านทูตออกมาอย่างเต็มที่ครับ5 4 3 2 So joining us today is Mr. Syed Reza Nobakti, the Ambassador of Islamic Republic of Iran of Thailand. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
It seems like Iran has been on the world spotlight recently, and there are a lot of talk about. And we would like to get your perspective of things and how the situation is unfolding in Iran right now. So let me first ask about the protest that's going on. We have been getting a lot of information regarding this protest. And it seems like it's a protest like no other protest in the past. And it's the people who are participating come from many sectors of the society in Iran. And they are demanding a big change. And there has been report of a lot of allegations against the government of Iran, including excessive force against the protester, including the execution in public. I'm sure the audience can gather information from many other sources. But right now, since we get to talk to the ambassador of Iran, we would like to hear your side of the story. And can you first briefly explain, love, what we have heard and what you want us to hear today?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you very much. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate you on the occasion of New Year and wish you, the people of Thailand, the government and kingdom, a very happy New Year. And the people all over the world. I hope we can witness a world without bloodness, without war in 2023. Regarding the situation in Iran, I would say that if you study about the Iran, I don't know how you know Iran, how much you know Iran. What is going on in Iran, in fact, is referred to our foreign policy. I don't want to say that whatever is going on in Iran is caused by foreigners. No.
Okay.
But I would say that such a policy, I mean, dependence and being non-dependent to other countries has its own cost. And now the government of Iran is paying this cost. You see, when you study about the Iran, just now I can mention, for example, I saw a film from our prime minister during Shah time before the revolution. He said it is very shameful for us when we see there is written at a stadium that entrance forbidden for dogs and Iranian. It was for foreigners in south of Iran. There was a stadium for playing volleyball and football and so on. So the Iranian and dogs, they were not allowed to get into this stadium. What does it mean?
This is before, right? Before the revolution.
Before the revolution.
Okay.
So people changed the situation. So it means that the foreigners over there, they were ruling really the country, and they had all of the concessions and everything over there. But it was cut after the revolution. So they are not satisfied with that. At the same time, I would mention maybe there is some mismanagement in Iran as well. But regarding the recent uprising or riots in Iran, you see it started with the death of Mahsa Amini, maybe you know.
Yes, the Kurdish lady who got arrested.
Kurdish lady, exactly. Yeah. Who was Mahsa Amini? Mahsa Amini was a lady from Kurdistan living in Tehran. And according to the file, when he was 5 years old, she got tumor in her head and had surgery. Okay. All the documents are available. And because she should be under the supervision of the doctors, so the family transferred from Kurdistan to Tehran because she has to visit the doctor every 1-2 months. So she and the family transferred from Kurdistan to Tehran. What happened is that, every country got its own dress code, more or less. For example, in France, it is obligatory not to use hijab or a scarf,
There was an issue about this a few years back.
Yeah, still it is enforcing. If you want enter, for example, to the school, something like that, okay. If you got a scarf, so you should take it off. Mm-hmm. This is the rule now. Okay. And in Iran, people are supposed to use a scarf. Of course, when they are getting into the offices and so on, they should to have maybe outside. It is not important. Mm-hmm. But what happened, Mahsa Amini didn't use that. And according to the police, they talk to them, they notify them. If they care, okay. If they do not care, they take them to the police station. There is some classes over there. For example, 15, 20 people, they sit over there, and some people are teaching them, explaining for them what we should use, a scarf and so. And they are released. But what happened, when Mahsa Amini was in the custody, with the police station, he had, I think, a heart attack and he fell down on the earth. So immediately they took him to the hospital, and she was in the hospital for 2 days, and she passed away.
Okay. So let me ask you a bit about this. Seems like from what you're saying, you are saying the narrative of the death of Ms. Ashani has been distorted. Maybe she has been sick earlier. Is that what you're saying? But
according to the document.
Okay, but according to the protest movement right now, it seems like they were used by force of the police, and the cause of her death is not by any previous illness, but by cause of injuries inflicted upon by the police. So you're saying this is all lies? And where does the lies come from in this perspective?
If you look at the document that was signed by, was issued by forensic doctors, 19 doctors, they signed it. According to this document, no injury was on the body of Mahsa Amini. Okay. Nothing happened. And according to films that it was put on show, she was talking to somebody and suddenly she fell down. So it means that there was no problem. There was in a class with around 15, 17 people, other people. And she collapsed.
Okay, so in your opinion, why do you think this sparked the protest? What happened? If her death was actually caused from previous illness, why does it start the fire and make the protest happen?
You see, you may know that because of the sanctions and because of the maybe somehow mismanagement, there is some economic problem,
yes,
financial problem for the people in Iran now. So when such case happened, and some other countries. For your information, 256 TV, foreign TV, they worked on this case every 24 hours. Lots of misinformation, lots of fake information for the people in Iran in Persian language. So they could gather people, and they tried to say that Iran, the government, was responsible for this death. So they gathered people. They came together. According to the information and statistics, around a few 100,000 people, they gathered all together in all the towns, okay, all the cities.
You mean the media, right?
No, in the city,
the protest,
reality.
Okay.
But after, when they started to burn the police, kill the police, and they burning the banks, destroying everything, so people left this group. For example, recently, I think it was last month, they announced for gathering all the people for 3 days, but nobody listened. So it means that before, people tried to support them because they were not satisfied with the financial, let me say, problem, our economic situation. And then when they did some very, very, let me say, unpolite jobs, they even they killed some ladies and so on because they had scruff. They beat them because they have hijab. So people left them because you see, we want some changes. I mean, in people in Iran, they are interested in some changes in economic situation, but not in whole situation. Because you see, if such people like these people, they want to rule the country, they come as a leader. So what will happen? We will witness some country like Libya. So people left them. Now they do not have any support. Of course, if you listen to or watch the TV, foreign TVs, you will see lots of uprising and so on, but it's not, it's fake.
So you're saying that there are a group of people who demands the change of the whole system, like a revolution. And there's another larger group of people who just want a change in economic situation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how would the government of Iran address these groups to appease the situation right now? Because according to the reports we've been getting from a lot of human rights groups around the world, there has been many thousand arrests. There has been a lot of deaths on the street, a few hundreds at least. There has been public execution. So what would be your response to that? How would the situation in the future get better?
Everything is going on according to our constitution. Because you see, 98% of people in Iran, they have voted for the constitution, according to the constitution and our rules and regulations.
Since the revolution, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you see, most of the people in Iran, they are Muslim. The constitution is based on the Islamic rules. So regarding the economic situation, people have started some changes. And they try to convince people to, right now we are exporting much more oil, crude oil. And they are trying to bring this benefits, this earning to the people, so to be distributed among the people somehow, and try to make them satisfied. This is the responsibility of the government. Of course, we have sanctions. Most of this problem is caused by the sanction, because you see, when we are exporting our crude oil, we cannot receive the money. This is the problem. We are exporting petrochemical production or oil or whatever we are exporting, Iranian production. We cannot receive the money. Our companies, they cannot work abroad easily because they cannot receive the money, send the money, because the banking system is locked with Iran. So the government tries to solve it in one way, different ways. But regarding the people that they did lots of, let me say, killing and so on the streets, burning the police and so. According to regulation, they are detained and they talk to them. If they are not responsible for the death, they are free. Right now, 3,000 have been freed. 3,000 something to 400 like that have been freed. They said, okay, we made a mistake. We didn't want, so we didn't know that. They freed. There are some people that they are responsible directly in the death of some people, other people, not only the police. You see, because they wanted to make the case much more complicated. So they used a weapon and killed even some protesters themselves among them. You know that the police during these 3 months was unarmed, didn't use any arm, any gun, and so on. So, but they did use a gun against the police. At the same time, they used against themselves among the people. So they killed some people, and they said police killed them. But you know, police, according to all of the evidence, was not allowed to carry a weapon.
What is the proper protocol for the police right now to address the situation?
Not to use a weapon, that's all.
No brutal force?
No,
okay.
No, nothing.
All of the images we've been seeing on social media, in the news, you maintain that's from someone who wants to stir the situation up, right?
So, you see, even we had some documents that some people from the opposition group, they wear the uniform of police, and, for example, hurting the cars, the streets, and so on. But when they detain, they say, no, they are not police, they are from the opposition group, the violators.
So, moreover, there has been reports on arrests of a lot of high-profile people, like footballers, movie stars, rappers, artists, Iranian artists in many places. Are those allegations true? And there have been online sources saying that their crimes are branded as crime against God. Is that true or false in your opinion? Or what is the reality in Iran right now?
Yeah. You see, the reality is that, unfortunately, some celebrities, they more or less supported the uprising, and they try to encourage people to take part to the uprising and so on. So now some of them have been detained and they have been talked. That's all, and now they are free.
Okay.
They are free. So they explain for them that, you see, they are explaining for them that if this situation continue, we will face a country like Libya.
Which is in chaos right now. Okay.
Yeah. So when they understand the reality, because most of them, they do not know what's going on. When they understand, they say, okay, we didn't know that. So they regret and they release them. Right now, just we have one footballist out of Iran, Mr. Ali Karimi, that tries to encourage uprising and so on, riots. But you see, there is no response now, finished. In fact, right now in Iran, there is no demonstration, there is nothing. And people, they are free if they want to have any problem, they have their idea, they can talk to the people in the government. So no need for uprising.
Are you saying the uprising has already finished today?
Exactly.
If you go to Tehran today, the situation will be normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in Iran.
Okay.
Even during the uprising, I was in Iran.
Okay.
You see, just I give you one example. I was in Iran near the foreign ministry. There is a street, Saadi Street, the name of the street. I was over there with one of my colleagues talking. Around 14, 15 people, they came, they had some slogans against the government. Police was over there as well, okay? So maybe it took around 15 minutes and they left, finished. At night when I was in foreign ministry, we were monitoring the news. I watched one of the TVs from abroad, and they said, this is Saadi Street, lots of people are demonstrating, and the bazaar has been on fire, and so. But there was not something like that. Even there was some films on some TVs that when people, they studied about that, they find that it is for 10 years ago in another country, not for Iran.
You mean the film?
Yeah, they put on show that this is Iran. That is not Iran. Another example, I saw a clip. The police was beating a lady at a metro station. They beat, and so they said it is Iran. But when you listen, you see they are talking French. Even the lady, the police are talking French. The people in Iran, they do not talk French. They are speaking Persian. So, I mean, there are lots of fake news from different places, and they gather and they say that this is from Iran.
I see. So, going back earlier, actually the first sentence you said is that Iran is paying the cost of wanting to be self-dependent. Can you elaborate on that, and what does it play into the current situation right now?
Exactly. You see, the only difference between developing countries like Iran, Thailand, Indonesia, whatever, with the developed countries like America, Germany, Japan, and so on, is knowledge. Only the knowledge. They have more knowledge, we have less. So they are using this knowledge to supervise or to dominate other countries. This is the reality. Right now, Iran is one of the countries that try to get access to different knowledge. One of them is nuclear industry. In the biotechnology, Iran is number 4 in the world. In nanotechnology, Iran is number 5 in the world. In drone industry, Iran is number 5 again in the world. In different industry, so we have get access to the latest developments. And in nuclear industry as well, you see, you know that right now 9 countries are enriching uranium in the world.
Yes.
Iran is number 10. And just for information, generating the electricity through the nuclear power station is much more cheaper than other ways. Okay. For example, sometimes it is more than 1/10. I mean, if you generate electricity from in a nuclear power station, you pay 1/10. Iran is a country that is developing country, and every year the consumption of the electricity is increased more than 11%.
Yes.
So it means that we need lots of electricity. To generate electricity from oil and gas, it is possible, but it's very expensive. And at the same time, this is for our next generation. It is not just for us. We are not allowed to use all the gas and crude oil to generate electricity and use it for ourselves. So we have started to build up power station, nuclear power station. So some countries, they do not like that. You see, even they do not Iran enrich uranium because enriching uranium is not expensive. Not at all. It's not expensive. But just 9 countries are enriching uranium. They said that we are ready to sell you enriched uranium. You know, right now they are building up, establishing nuclear power station in different countries, and on the condition that we, I mean this 9 countries, secure or we provide you with the enriched uranium.
That's it.
Yes.
So long story short, it means that what you're implying is that Iranian nuclear program has mostly been for peaceful and electricity purpose, but then there are foreign powers who want to destabilize Iran and want to portray your nuclear program is military and more towards unpeaceful mean. Is that what your implication is?
You see, if they say frankly that we are opposing Iran because they are getting access to different technologies and industries, so it is not good. People, they cannot accept, they are not convinced.
So they need some reasoning.
So they need a reason. They say Iran is developing atomic bomb, nuclear bomb. Okay. So we should prevent him. This is the excuse that they are giving to people.
And how is that linked to the current protests?
Exactly. Since Iran doesn't accept their recommendation to stop enriching uranium, to stop making drones, to stop working on nano and biotechnology and new technologies. So they are trying to push Iran. Because if Iran get access to all this new information, new science, So Iran will be like America, something like that. So
in terms of development, right?
Yeah. So
let me come back to the same question again. Like, of course, there are foreign power that doesn't want Iran to succeed and to develop. But is it possible for them to orchestrate all these people on the street, which is joining in tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands in Iran right now? Like, are you saying that this is all foreign power caused by foreign power?
No, as I mentioned, there are two reasons. One of them is the propaganda of the foreign powers, and at the same time, sometimes there is some mismanagements and the pressure of the sanctions.
I see.
So because people they are not so much satisfied, so they cooperate with the people, the opposition group. But when find out that the opposition group are doing very, let me say, crucial jobs where they're killing people, burning people, so they left them. The best example is that recently they asked for 3 years coming to the streets. Nobody came to the street. Even the police was not available, but nobody came to the street because they found out that they can't trust them. They are not reliable.
Okay, so let us expand the topic a bit, not only focusing on the protest. Actually, it stems from the protest because this protest has been focusing a lot on women's rights, and the slogan is "Women, Life, Freedom." We've seen it everywhere, including in the World Cup. There has been a lot of talk about this. So let me ask you about the women's right in Iran. Currently, it's been ranked number 7 from the bottom in terms of equality of gender. But from my travels in many Muslim world, they have very different point of views in terms of what women's rights are compared to the West. So I want to hear from your point of view, like how the current situation for women's rights in Iran is. Yeah.
If you compare the situation of women in Iran before the revolution, after the revolution, you will find out that in Iran and in Islam, we are respecting ladies too much, women too much. I don't care about some another countries. You see, we are Shia in Iran. Shia respecting ladies too much. Even all the Muslims, Prophet Muhammad as a prophet of the Muslims, he respected women too much. You know, when her daughter came to him, he used to stand up to respect her. So it means that ladies are respected. Maybe in some other countries, Muslim countries even, they do not respect them. But it doesn't mean that Islam doesn't respect the ladies. In Iran as well, we are respecting ladies too much. I'm talking to some diplomats here or some people in Thailand. I say in Iran, ladies are at the home, they are boss. They are boss. Really, it is if you ask, you will find out that ladies are boss at in every family in Iran. And if you look at the society, you will find out more than 60% of the students at the universities, they are ladies. More than 1/3 of the private drivers are ladies. And in the universities, lots of the professors, in high school and school, lots of the teachers, all are ladies. They are working. They don't have lots of companies in here. They are ruling or they are managed by the ladies. They are working without any problem. But they talked about ladies also, this slogan. We believe in that, yes.
Yes.
But they do not want that. If they are talking about the freedom, our ladies, why? They beat the lady that they used a scarf. It is freedom. She would like to use a scarf. So why you are beating her? So it means that you do not believe in freedom. They are talking about freedom, and they are trying to use these excuses to push the government. And the reason is that...
Sorry, who are they? Who's trying to use this? The foreign power or?
Foreign powers that they are opposing the Iranian foreign policy in let me say, industry, in knowledge, in science, and so on, because they do not want to get this country into the new club, a club of the developed countries, like that.
So this protest has been led by a lot of young people who has many access to internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Including Instagram and social network, I would say, and they see a lot of comparison between the lifestyle in Iran in terms of Islamic Republic and the lifestyle from all over the world, including the Western world. And not only in Iran, I see in a lot of Asian countries, there's a huge generation gap between the young people and the older generation who were growing up traditionally. So it would come naturally if they are no longer satisfied with the current system of Islamic Republic, which enforce quite strict tradition of Islam. Do you think you can coexist within the same country without crashing into each other? And what is the way forward to satisfy this newer generation who want change, not only in terms of economics, but culture as well?
Exactly. You see, such differences between the statesman and the people happens everywhere in the world. If you look at the different countries, for example, in America, last year, 300 ladies have been killed by the police just because the police thought that they are dangerous. They shoot at them and they kill them. This according to their statistics. In different countries, okay, this happens. And it is not something new. Yes, there is some maybe difference, but the government of Iran has started to renovate the system. I mean, to bring some more young people to the ruling, let me say, group, and try to use the idea in this case. All the ladies, whether they have a scarf or they do not have, they are my babies, they are my daughters. So it means that they have understand each other, they know each other. Maybe there is some misunderstandings, okay, but anyway, they know each other, and people in Iran, they are respecting their leader. Of course, you see, their leader is not ruling the country, he's just a leader. But the government now has come to this, let me say, position to take care more about the young people. And I think the conflict is going to be over. It will not continue because people are in Iran Muslim, even the young people, the parents, they are Muslim. They want Islam, but they do not want, for example, collapse of the regime. They do not want a country like Libya separated in different parts, war and so. They know it. So it means that I'm sure that the riots finished more or less. Maybe there is some small parts sometimes, but people do not support them. And the situation in the government will change somehow to support the young ideas, young people, and so on.
And from Thai people who was watching and doesn't really know anything about Iran at all, please introduce them a bit to Iran culture and system. Let me first ask you about like the name Islamic Republic. What does it mean? How does Islam religion and the idea of republic comes together in this system?
The Islamic Republic means that this republic, in this republic, all the regulation is based on Islam. And Islam is a democratic religion. Remember, some people, they do not get a good image of Islam because they know Islam as Daesh, as ISIS in Syria, as Jabhat al-Nusra in Syria, and so on, Boko Haram in Nigeria. No, it is not Islam. We do not believe that they are Muslim. Okay. They are mercenary. They are mercenary of some powers to let me say, spoil the name of Islam. That's all. You understand? You see, even you know that ISIS was established by whom? ISIS was established by America. Madame Clinton, former foreign secretary, said that we established ISIS. You see? So it means that such groups that they are extremists and they try to do something against the Muslims, against Islam. They are not real Muslim. They are in fact the mercenaries. But even they themselves, they do not know that. Maybe their leaders know, but the people, the soldiers that they are fighting for them, they do not know. They're young people, they do not know anything about Islam. Just they believe that whatever the leader says is right. But the leader is dependent to foreigners.
I see. In terms of the whole system, like how is the democratic process works in Iran, and what are the roles of the cleric class and the supreme leader who are mostly based on religion rule? Yeah. What are the separation of power? Yeah.
You see, in Iran, there is a democracy, I believe, because, for example, if you have any critic, you can just mention, even on the street, on the bus, taxi, whatever you say that, I do not believe in president. President make mistake. This minister make mistake. No problem. People, they are expressing themselves about different cases in Iran, about the politics, foreign politics, whatever. And the leader, you see, leader is not ruling the country. Just let me say, supervising. If there is something wrong, they notify. He notify people that, for example, this case is not right. You should correct it. That's all. The role of the leader is that, not more. The government is ruling the country, and the people are very free. Even they can gather together, have a slogan against the government. They can write to government. You see, your image about the Islamic country is like some countries in Persian Gulf, that there is just one king ruling the country. It is not like that. Iran is like Thailand. Majesty here is majesty. Doesn't interfere in all the cases, just supervising. During these 43 years, every year we had one election. Municipal election, parliament election, presidential election, like that. Every year we had. So it means that the democracy, people, they vote. Even the leader is elected indirectly by the people. It is not that it comes from a sky, no. He is elected indirectly by the people.
How so? What do you mean?
Yeah. People, they vote for the member of the assembly expert.
I see.
And the assembly experts, they come together, they sit, and they elect somebody as a leader. That's all. And every year, they review his activity. If it's wrong, they can take him out. Another leader, like that.
I was there in Iran like almost 10 years ago, and I have been to many Islam countries, but only in Iran that I saw that there were morality police enforcing the strict dress code, especially in places like Qum, where not only Iranian but foreigners have to observe the law as well. So can you please explain a little bit about this, like why Iran need morality police and what are their roles, and why other Muslim countries doesn't seem to have them? Yeah.
So as I mentioned, you see, country to country differs.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, in France, there is regulation. In Iran, is this kind of regulation. And morality police doesn't beat the people, just to notify people. And now you see, it was omitted, finished. We do not have any morality police. It was before.
You no longer have them?
No.
Okay. Since when?
I think less than 1 year.
Oh, I see. Okay. And there has been a lot of talk about the Basij militias in terms of their use in suppressing the protesters. How true is this allegation, in your opinion?
You see, Basij are a group of young people that they have supported our soldiers in the defense of Iran against Saddam Hussein. You know, Saddam Hussein attacked Iran,
yes.
And it lost, the war against Iran lasted 8 years. And during this time, the army did a lot. And Basij, there are young people that they supported the army, okay? And they believe in the system because, you see, they have lost lots of friends in the war. So they believe that we should support this government, not to destroy it, because they know that if this government is collapse or if the regime collapse, they do not know what happened then. But now it is a unity, and they try to keep the unity.
I see. And what are their roles in this process? Are they mobilized to suppress the situation or no?
No. Like police, they're supporting the police, but you see, police doesn't attack any opposition group.
I see. Okay. So let me come back to a little bit about the role of the religion in the state of Iran. There was a quote by the founder of Islamic State, Ayatollah Khomeini. He said that Islam is political or it is nothing. In terms of, because in Thailand we always think that religion and politics is something always separated, but it's not a concept that exists in Islam, right? The separation between politics and religion. Can you explain a little bit on this?
We cannot say that the religion is separated from politics. The best example is the Prophet Muhammad, that he organized the government that time. Government is a, let me say, political body of the society. So Prophet Muhammad organized the government. So it means that the religion and the politics are combined together. We should use and we try to observe the religion in our politics as well. So this is the religion, because we believe that we should be independent, okay? So we should not let other countries to get to make decision for us. This comes from our religion. Because we are Muslim, we believe that Muslims should be respected, and at the same time they should respect other people. You know, here they are Muslims, they are Buddhists, they are respect each other. They do not got any problem here. In Iran, we got different people. For example, we are Christian, Jews, Zoroastrian. They are living in Iran. They have their member in the parliament without any problem. So it means that the religion and the politics cannot be separated.
Let me ask you a bit on the lighter side of things in terms of culture in Iran, because I've been there and we always hear about political situation in Iran, but a big chunk of what you see when you're actually in Iran are the culture. So places like Isfahan or Tehran, there are so many places to see. So if somebody were to go to Iran right now, like from Thailand, what would you recommend to go, including in the current situation? Like, can we just travel there right now and no situation, or what's the current travel situation right now for Thai people? Yeah.
I would say that, you say Iran, you know, Iran is a very old country. We have more than 7,000 years written history and civilization. Some people from Thailand used to go to Iran to do a ski in north of Tehran, you know. And they have started already. I think they are going again because recently 2 groups paid visit from Thailand to Iran. And the situation is okay. We don't have any problem. People are living very, very normal, and there is no uprising. There is no dangerous. Nothing happens over there.
That's it.
But if you look at watch the TV and some media, you will find out that there is lots of problem. You cannot go to Iran, but no, nothing happens. Everything is okay.
Yeah, I remember going there and everybody offered me food on the street, like either fruits or some drinks, or always on the street. Like that's the culture of Iranians.
Exactly. Right? You know, in Iran we do not got too much street foods like Thailand. There is some shops, but we do not have street foods. But we have good restaurants, and the price very, very okay if you compare to other countries.
Wow. And I understand that it's not only the old culture as well, in terms of modern culture, like music and films, it's quite rich as well in Iran, right? Yeah. Or like, what other things to watch for? What kind of cinema do Iran produce? Yeah.
I think yearly there are lots of films are produced in Iran, and we trying to put on show here in Thailand some films as well, and we are exporting our films to some countries.
If we watch all these films, would it help us as a Thai people to understand more about Iranian culture and society? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you see in all of the Iranian films you will find a kind of, let me say, Iranian culture in one or another way, yes.
And you mentioned earlier that your country is more than 7,000 years old, and the link is back to Persian Empire, and it's became Iran. How would you describe the Persian culture that still exists today compared to the word Iran in modern society? Like, are you still Persian, or what are the differences between Iranian and Persian in the modern terms?
Yeah, you see, even the Persian Empire was a very developed country that time. And I think dominated around 1/5 of the world, okay? So they were very intellectual people and supportive to the other countries, and still people are the same. You see, Islam didn't change Iran. Islam was adapted to Iranian culture. Now we are Iranian Muslim. It means that we have taken the Islam and tried to adapt it into our culture. All the cultures from before still is over there. At the same time, we have the Islamic regulation as well.
And it seems like since ancient times, Persia has been crashing with Western powers, not only Iran in the current situation, but since ancient times, right? It seems like this trust between foreign powers and Persian and ultimately Iran runs quite deep into the past. So I have looked into your history, and there were a lot of cases. The latest case being the assassination of General Soleimani. But before that, there was a coup in 1953. There was dynasty that brought about the Islamic Revolution before that. So in terms of the point of view from Iranian, both the people and the government of Iran, looking to somewhere like USA or England or other Western countries, how do you view them? What are the feelings toward all these countries?
You see, we do not have any problem with the nations in different countries. Just the problem is with some statesmen in the different countries. We got very good relation with different countries in the world, neighboring, even in Europe, in America, and so on. The problem is between the people or the statesmen in America and the policy of Western countries toward Iran. We do not have problem. They make problem for us. So if you look at the history, we'll find out that they did a coup in 43 against the government.
53.
53, sorry, 53, and in which our prime minister, in fact, collapsed. He was a nationalist prime minister. He nationalized the oil industry and so on, and so he was collapsed. So this is the reason that people, they are not optimistic toward the Western countries. They believe that they are working just for interest, that's all, and not the interest of the other people. People in Iran try to coexist with other countries, the government as well, but it depends on the countries like American and Western countries. Regarding Mr. Soleimani, you see, the Western countries, they brought a very big problem to Middle East. As I mentioned, former Secretary of State, Madam Clinton said, they established ISIS. You know what happened in Syria, in Iraq, by ISIS. They burned people, they killed lots of people, they destroyed all the infrastructures in Syria and a part of Iraq. Why? Because they want to make some jobs for their companies. In Libya, when Mr. Gaddafi said, "Okay, finished. You can come. The fight is finished," but they continued. They destroyed all their refineries. Even they bombarded the airplanes on the bombed on the earth. Because after that, they started to make sign contracts for renovation of the refineries, to sell airplane to Libya, and so. And right now, Libya is three parts. You know, it is a country, but in fact, it is three parts. All three parts are fighting against each other. They are exporting oil, buying weapons, fight against each other. So, Libya, in fact, for a long time, we got lots of problems and has to sell the oil and buy weapon and sign contract to renovate the refineries and infrastructures. So it is a very good source for the economy of the Western countries. The same claims they tried to make in Syria, and they did it unfortunately, but they couldn't finish the job. They tried to topple Mr. Bashar and make Syria like Libya. But with support of Iranian government and Mr. Soleimani, General Soleimani, the hero of the, let me say, century, ISIS was defeated from Syria. And so Western countries, they got angry because they wanted to make Syria like Libya. So they tried to assassinate him. And it was a state terrorism action happened by American, and they accept their responsibility. And now you see the case in our court. Some people that have been responsible, now they are known, and they will be punished in future.
And in the Western or maybe USA point of view, what do they want Iran to become? Exactly like Libya or something else, in your opinion?
Depends. If we continue our resistance, they want to be like Libya, because they are talking about several republics, like Arab Republic, Turk Republic, Baloch Republic, Kurd Republic, something like that. But if we cooperate with them, no problem. They need oil, they need our market, and they would like to cooperate with Iran. But the problem is that they are not talking to countries like Iran in equal level. They look at Iran from here, so it differs for us.
So this is all just a bargaining process?
Exactly.
Is there any possibility, in your opinion, that the protest is happening by the people themselves, not by foreign invasion or foreign intervention?
I don't think so, because you see, people, they know that any demonstration, any uprising is supported by foreigners, and foreigners, they are not interested in the Iranian interest. Okay. They are working for their interest. So it means that if they cooperate with foreigners, they will make country like Syria and so on. So I think it is impossible. At the same time, government has started to renovate the policies. And I think in near future, we will see the results.
Yeah, there has been big protests in 2009, 2019, and now this year. So how do you prevent this kind of big uprising to happen again in the future, in terms of the change that needs to happen in the government, like you said?
It depends on the government. I think if the government try to renovate the policy and the economy, I think there will be no excuses for any uprising anymore. I think so, because they have, I know they have taken the lessons how to deal with the people in future, so that they do not witness such a situation.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Mr. Ambassador. Thank you.
Thank you.